It was Donna Gagne's that took us in and said, you guys are trying to call yourself the mercenaries, trying to come in with some kind of like war gimmick, I don't know, like Corporal Kirshner thing. She goes, the way you guys acted last night, you acted like a bunch of nasty boys, and me and Zach looked at each other and went, that's a good name. So, the Nasty Boys were born. And the AWA was some good training. But Wahoo McDan and Ray Stevens fired us, and we ended up in Mid-South, down there with Jerry the King Lawler. We're true Nasty Boys, what can I say?
Yeah. All right, good. All right, who's next? Next. Come on up. All right, here you go, buddy. And don't forget, after we do the Q&A, we're going to be taking the pictures in the ring, signing autographs and everything. So if y'all will be patient over there, we appreciate it. How you doing, pal? What's your name?
Kyle.
Any words of wisdom for these guys here, or any questions?
My question is, what was it like? What was it like to win the tag team titles for the first time?
What was it like to win the tag team titles for the first time?
Well, what you talk about the WWE tag team titles, or WWF it was at the time. Is that what you're, because we won, we held a lot of titles. Of course, winning tag team titles at a WrestleMania is the greatest achievement a tag team could ever make in the world of professional wrestling. And to win the titles here in Los Angeles in 1991, at was a Coliseum, right? Or sports arena, the LA Sports Arena in '91 was the biggest and greatest thing we could achieve in professional wrestling. And it was it was like winning the Super Bowl at the time for us. I mean, you can't really. There was different high points of our career, which stepping stone us to get there, which I can talk about, different matches with the Steiners and wrestling them in the Halloween Havoc with back in the day. But the epitome of tag team wrestling, the greatest company there is, the WWE, and winning the titles at the greatest event that professional wrestling holds, which is WrestleMania. There's no greater moment that I can think of in my life.
No, it was fantastic. All I can say is the match that got us to the WWF was Halloween Havoc against the Steiners when we nearly killed each other. And then we got a call from Vince McMahon asking us to come up. And when we came up, we had no idea they were going to shoot us right up there to that spot at WrestleMania against the Hart Foundation, actually win the titles. And there was a lot of mad tag teams at the time when we won it. I mean, they're good friends of ours, but the LOD was kind of mad that they put the Nasty Boys, came right up and beat the Hart Foundation. And I'll tell you, talk about a party, kid. We party. That night we went on and Willie Nelson was there as a guest singing America the Beautiful. And we went and we took Kurt Hennig, his dad, we took Shawn Michaels, and we went all over to see Willie Nelson at Santa Monica. He was staying at the Santa Monica Hotel. And he had this little thing. I gave Willie the belt. He was wearing it like a country, like a belt buckle. He had a big smile on his face. Then he had this thing back in the day that was called the final word. And every time he hit it, it said, shut up, F this, dot. I said, Willie, if you hit that one more time, I'm going to put you in the biggest airplane spin you ever run in your life. And he hit it, and I had good old Willie Nelson in an airplane spin, and his hands and legs were swaying, and the two guys, his security, LG and Gator, were going, put him down, Bob, put him down. But man, we ended up partying with Willie Nelson until about 5, 6 in the morning that night with the belts on, and it was the proudest day of my life winning the belts. It really was.
All right, hey, any other questions?
What was it like managing these guys and other wrestlers?
What was it like? Oh, I'll tell you what it was like. Uh-oh, here you go.
And don't forget, we wouldn't have won those belts if Jimmy Hart wouldn't have tossed us that helmet.
I'm probably the only manager in the world that had tag team champions, and while we have the belts, I always turn on them to manage somebody else. It's crazy. But you know what? It was a lot of fun. Vince had a rule back then. He always gave me a lot of great teams. He gave me a lot of great single wrestlers too, because his thing was 2 sticks are harder to break than 1. Meaning with a manager, you could have more longevity in a program. It could go longer, And with the Nasty Boys, it was kind of like 3 sticks are harder to break than 1. But Hart Foundation, love Brett, love Neidhart, so much fun being with them. The Nasty Boys were wild and crazy. The Terry and Dory Funk, a little bit more serious. Rougeau brothers were just downright funny. And of course, with Hogan and Brutus, it was limousines every night with those guys because Hogan had the stroke, right? So it was a lot of fun too. But everybody I've been able to manage and been with, I've been so grateful because I wouldn't be standing up here today if it wasn't for the Nasties and the Harts and Honky Tonk Man and Rhythm and Blues and all these guys. So I'm very grateful. Thank you very much. You were great. Good question. Here's Miles.
I gotta tell a quick story though. When we first got on the road, Jimmy, being the manager and great guy he is, says, "Hey, you guys, don't worry. We can all room together." So it was our first 10-day-long road trip. After that first 10-day-long road trip, Jimmy said, "I love you guys, but you're on your own, Daddy. You ain't rooming with me no more."
I could only stay up till 3 and 4 in the morning so many times, but it was a lot of fun. These guys are awesome. All right, who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? All right, come on up, buddy. There you go. Come on down.
Johnny and Louis to the front, please. Johnny and Louis to the front.
Thank you very much. Whatever she said, we're gonna do it. Anybody? What's your name?
Thomas.
Thomas. Here you go, Bob.
Hey guys, how's it going? Compared to can you all hear me?
There you go.
Compared to the guys now, the tag teams now, like the Hardys, Hell No, and all them. If you guys they call you back right now, would you show them how it's really done with the tables, ladders, and chairs?
Wait till this asshole starts. He asked if, well, he mentioned the Hardys and some other teams, but asked if we would come back and wrestle and show the young tag teams how it's done. We definitely would. We tried that a couple years ago with TNA because we never got a chance at the, they changed their name, whatever it is now, they were the Dudley Boys. And Team 3D. They're Team 3D? That's right. Forgot about that. You know, when you change your name as a tag team and don't stay what you truly are, like the Nasty Boys did, and sell out to Team 3D, you forget your name. But anyway, we did that to them sort of a little bit and went, because they always, you know, after we had left WWE, they adapted the thing with the table, I guess, out of our starting all those street fights and stuff like that. But we did that and smashed their locker apart and smashed them apart a little bit. But I really would like to, we had great matches because they were great wrestlers. Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty as the Rockers in the WWE and in the AWA. And the Hardys reminded me a lot of them with what they can do and how good they can wrestle and stuff like that. I would have liked to wrestle them. Now, I honestly, me and Knobs both are upset with the tag team situations in the world of wrestling today. You know, to us, a tag team, a true tag team, isn't just like 2 guys they throw together at the whim of a moment and then call them a name. It's like the Harlem Heat, the British Bulldogs, you know what I mean, or the LOD, and the Samoans and all, et cetera, that had started in a business, came up together, and developed as a tag team all through their career. You know what I mean? Not that there wasn't some great teams that were put together, like in Japan, we wrestled the Great Tenaru and Stan Hansen, Abdullah the Butcher, and Tiger Jet Singh, and stuff like that. But I'm talking about the true tag team, the Steiner brothers, the Harlem Heat, and you know, and that. And I'd like to see more of that. I just don't see a lot of that anymore. I don't know if you knew some, but I don't know of any, you know, teams that have been together. Even like the Godwins, we wrestled the Bushwhackers, and we wrestled the other 2 guys in Canada that had the kilts on. We had a big run with Public Enemy. You know, the Bret Hart and the Anvil were always a tag team as Davey Boy and the Highlanders. We just wrestled them in Canada last year. That was good, you know. But I'd like to see tag teams come back again.